catching feelings, baby.
What's up, beautiful people? It's Hershey Sunday, and I'm back with the scoop. How are you? I hope that you had a fabulous Super Bowl weekend, okay? Because that's really what the weekend was about. Super Bowl weekend. It was a lot going on, and we got to talk about it. But first, how you doing? Okay? Did you do anything productive over the weekend? You do anything productive this week? Okay, how are you doing? How's everybody doing? How's your mama? Okay, check on her if you're still blessed enough to have her. I'm doing well, staying hydrated, drinking my water. I just love her, okay? She keeps me hydrated when I need her the most. Mmm, woo! I got ice and lemon in this water. Honey, she is perky and she says hello, okay? That is some tart lemon, just how I like it. But anyway, hope you're doing well. Let's get into this show, y'all. We are going to kick it off talking about the Super Bowl, okay? Super Bowl 59 happened last night in New Orleans, Louisiana, okay? Nolens, one of my favorite places, okay? I got to go back. I have to go back. New Orleans is just so rich in history, music, great food, wonderful people. Love that place. Let's get into the game stats, okay? As you know, I am a sports junkie, okay? Lion, okay? And definitely on Mufasa with the lion. But I know because I wrote it down that the final score was the Philadelphia Eagles winning over Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. Jalen Hurts, excuse me, hurts a little bit. Jalen Hurts is MVP, and I couldn't be prouder of him because he deserves. And also, that man is fine. I'm gonna tell you this too. That entire team, or majority of that team, them Eagles, okay, go Birds, go Birds. Y'all, y'all, whoever did the scouting, I'm here with you, baby. They fine. I done seen a few. I don't know all y'all names, okay? I don't know all your names. It's somebody over there named Sachmo. I don't know. I know I'm butchering his name. Saquon. That's his name, child. I'm saying Sachmo. That's the trumpet player. I think he played jazz back in the day. Saquon, he fine. And a few of your homeboys, who's that's in the back, all of them is fine. They fine. And y'all deserve to win based off of that alone. Says the boy was cooking, okay? And that he was. He threw 2 touchdowns, ran it up with the famous tush push, proved why he's him. Okay? We applaud for that. He did a great job. Everyone did a great job, and that's why y'all won, and that's why y'all are winners. Okay. I wish I had more banter about all of the plays, but baby, I don't be, you know what I'm saying? I'm here. This is aesthetic, okay? I'm only here to dance with y'all. That's it. Let's get into the real meat and potatoes of the Super Bowl halftime show. Now let's get into Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance because baby, I thought it was everything. I loved it. Okay. LOVE loved it. I love the symbolism, okay, that he brought. All right, we're gonna kind of get into that. He brought out Uncle Sam, aka Samuel L. Jackson. Uncle Sam, aka Samuel L. Jackson, is definitely Unc. Okay, if anybody got to be Uncle Sam, it's definitely him. He deserves all of his things. He emceed the whole halftime show. Did a great job. It was a lot of symbolism layered in storytelling, layered in pettiness. Okay, baby, it was given a very much layered cake of Black culture, and I personally loved it. Okay, let's talk about some highlights. The staging, beautifully done. He had it set up as a game. Okay, which kind of set up double entendres, the game of living in this society. He had all Black dancers and performers. He had the Crips and the Bloods out, symbolizing the Crips and the Bloods, interwoven into the American flag, showing their back, showing that how Black people built this country on our backs. It was just good. Okay, chef's kiss. He brought out SZA, who they were able to do their songs, Stars, and then was it Luther? They did Luther too. Now, some people were saying that SZA's mic wasn't on. okay, that it was sounding like it was a pre-recorded track. Who cares? I'm here to tell you who cares. This was not her Super Bowl. We know SZA can sing. A lot of people pre-record tracks so that they don't have the oops and the snafus that certain people had. She who will not be named when she was Tootsie Roll on stage with the said headliner of the Super Bowl. Some people and I love her down. It's don't start. I do love her, but it was a snafu. I'm pretty sure she wished she would have did a little pre-recording too. And you don't know if a person is under the weather. If a person is constantly using their instrument, which in her case is her voice, she's also dancing. The temperature, I'm sure, in New Orleans weren't exactly, warm. You know what I'm saying? All of these factors go into it. Like, let her use if she did, which I kind of feel like she did. Let her use it. This ain't even her show. It's Kendrick's. Kendrick's mic was on. That's all I got to say about that part. I love seeing her. I love SZA anyway, though. They are also on tour. Excited about that. I don't know if I'm going to make the tour, but excited about that for them because, they deserve. What really got my go? Oh, he also had DJ Mustard on there, which was fun because you could tell he was having a ball. But what really razzed my berry, okay, what really got my goat, okay, Serena Williams, crip walking during They Not Like Us, and I loved it. Now, it's a double entendre for me. Okay, one, we all know They Not Like Us is a direct shot, okay, because he did say he ain't gonna sneak this, he gonna come direct flight to the distant or whatever. It's a double entendre because this was talking to Aubrey, okay? Drake, as you saw the lowercase a on his chain. Now some saying it stood for Aubrey, some saying it stood for Adonis, some said it stood for A minor, but we're not gonna, again, layers, right? It was her crip walking to that because of the diss to Drake. Now, allegedly, Serena Williams and Drake had a little rendezvous between, I want to say, 2011 and 2015. That's what the streets are saying. Allegedly, I don't know. They had them little, they was dating. And then he had blasted her and her now husband in one of his songs, I want to say about 2 years ago. So this was nice, okay? Crip walking on a song that you getting played on, okay? And also, too, she did that in Wimbledon on one of her tournaments, and they fined her for it. So she was able to kind of get her lick back, and just, I love it. I love a good villain story. Oh, let's also circle back to the fact that SZA and Drake also had a little rendezvous Tootsie Roller session, as she over there just singing it. It goes in. Oh, just swinging that big old booty, honey, and looking good. When all of the X's and ops just link up and it just make music, it warms my heart. Okay, as a creative myself, I think they did a wonderful job. Wonderful. Super excited about it. Now let's talk about how some people did not care for the Super Bowl performance. You had a lot of people who either didn't like the music at all, did not want to see Kendrick Lamar at all, wanted Lil Wayne to perform, or Master P, which Master P was on there earlier before the game started. He did like the pre-show or pre-game or something like that. But they didn't want him on there. A lot of people had issue with his wokeness, some of the messaging behind his songs. Some people felt like it was the Drake show, that he should have added more of his own, music that didn't necessarily involve Drake. And some people just didn't think it was entertaining. Here's how I feel about it. One, again, like I said earlier, I loved it. Okay, loved it. But two things can be true. I do feel like I would have liked to have seen a few other different songs from previous albums interwoven into it. But on the same token, I do understand that because of the magnitude of the beef, that, listen, this is like the piece de resistance, that we're going to dig one more or drive one more nail in the coffin and finish him. Okay, I do understand that, but I would have liked to have seen other things or other songs kind of interwoven into it. personally. Some people just flat out didn't like it. I can't agree with that. I loved it. And some people, they didn't like the pro blackness of it all. And to that I say, well, boo hoo. Boo to you. I loved it. And again, both things can be true. I do think that it's nothing wrong with wanting to be entertained and not necessarily educated, right? Some people, they want to compartmentalize their entertainment. Okay, we want to have fun, we want to dance, we want to have a good time. But to that, I would also say, well, you know, certain artists use their platforms to get how they feel across. It is not necessarily for you and about you. It sounds selfish, but I don't necessarily think it is. You either rock with it or you don't. His fans and people who support his music or are now new to his music and enjoyed it, it opens up something for them. And this is how he feels that he's contributing to like the conversation and what's going on in the world, especially in this country today. And also other artists have done the same thing. Okay, Beyonce has done the same thing with her platform and when she did the Super Bowl and also came back with Bruno Mars, and I keep forgetting the band's name, and it's gonna bother me until I look it up. I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends about it. Chris Martin. Let's see. I know Chris Martin is in it. um. Okay, what's his band name? Sorry, y'all. Coldplay. Why couldn't I get that? I don't know. But when she was up there with Coldplay and Bruno Mars, she dressed like the Black Panthers. She sung Formation. I mean, these are very much Black American forward like songs, right? Big records that some people had a problem with because they want Beyonce to just do some oohs and ahs. And I think she, in her time of her life, in the time of her life right now, she's choosing to just be intentional about how she talks about her platform. I'm not talking about her platform, how she talks about her music, how she uses her music, and how she advocates for like Black people. And I'm not mad at that. And again, it's not for everybody. Some people have an issue with it. That's their own personalized issue. And I'm not here to necessarily police people's feelings or intentions. Every art is subjective, right? So when it comes to that, ooh, what is this? Hmm, You know how you get a never mind, I'm grown, mind your business. When it comes to that, I mean, it's subjective and people have to pick and choose what they actually like. Again, I loved it. Not as much as I loved Kendrick Lamar's jeans though. Did y'all see his jeans? I'm sorry. I personally, before we even get to the Say Drake deep look in the camera, baby, it's them jeans for me. The flared out jeans, just hugging them. I know what the real beef is about, y'all. The real beef is about the body. Okay. Now, allegedly, Drake had a little nip tuck, a little yang yang yang, as Funky Dineva would say. Shout out to Funky Dineva. Me and Nikki Devereaux, shout out to Nikki Devereaux. She's one of my good girlfriends, and we live for Funky Dineva and like all of his sayings. He's raised us. Um, but this is really about the body because Drake had allegedly got some work done, and baby Kendrick Lamar was serving cakes. Okay, he was serving old nasty pot and pan of Dunkin' Hines. I was like, first of all, why you so double cheeked up on a Sunday evening? Okay, just sashaying and swaying on that field, being unapologetically Black, intentional, and giving us. Okay, baby, you was serving us dinner and a movie, and I love that. He's thick in these jeans. And right before it was the sway into the camera when he said, "Say Drake, I heard you like him young." Intentional. You could be petty, you could be woke, and you could be uber talented, and I love that for him. I do. I do. I thought it was hilarious, and it is like the final ta-da of this beef because again, none of this would have happened had Drake left him alone. Like you got to learn how to, what's that song? You got to know when to hold them. Boom, boom, know when to fold them. You should have known when to fold them. You can't play with everybody, baby. You can't play. Also, Kendrick Lamar, if you see this and you hear me talking about your Duncan Hines, please don't make no diss track about me, baby. I love you down, okay? I don't have time for the beef. I don't have time to wake up to you reading me, okay, down to Oakland or wherever you at. I don't have time for that because the way that I would cry in my room, just like Mary J. Blige screamed on "Be Without You," I would scream, baby. Please do not. I love you. It's all out of fun and games. Okay, don't come for me. But you did wear them hip hugging jeans, and I thought it was not. I loved it. I ain't say I ain't like it. Shoot, I loved it. I thought you looked real nice, real voluptuous and curvaceous. Mole curves in the iceberg. I thought you looked good. Again, you won the body challenge, so please don't come for me. Let's go to our next segment and let's talk about Beyonce. I had mentioned her earlier in Kendrick's segment. Again, y'all notice that everything circles back to Beyonce with me. Like her a lot, love her down. She added extra tour dates to her upcoming Cowboy Carter Chillin' Circuit tour. Okay. So in Chicago, she added the 18th of May. She's here May 15th and 17th. So she added the 18th. In London, she added June 16th. Paris, she added June the 22nd. Atlanta, she added July the 13th. Los Angeles, she added April 28th and May 1st. So, what does this mean? If you thought you weren't getting tickets, you may have a second chance. Okay. Beware of the scalpers though, because people are doing the most for these tickets. The Beehive is ready. Baby, people are already booking the hotels, booking their flights, and they just sitting there perched. And they got the pre-sales and they're just waiting. They waiting for it to drop so they can get their tickets. So if you're trying to go, she added some extra dates. You may have the opportunity. So we're going to move on to Irv Gotti's passing and Ashanti's response. Irv Gotti recently passed away. Kind of shocked everyone. He had a stroke, I believe, and did not recover from said stroke. And a lot of people had a lot of things to say about Irv Gotti and his passing. A lot of condolences. Now, he and Ashanti had not been on good terms. Okay, they clearly were not on good terms. He had said some very disparaging things about the context of their prior relationship, previous relationship. That, in my opinion, was in poor taste. But I'm going to go ahead and go to what she had stated in regards to Irv Gotti and his passing. Let me read it to you. Okay, it says here, she goes on to say, I can't believe things ended like this. And it makes me so sad. We weren't on the best terms the past few years. But as I've always said, through our ups and downs, I will forever be grateful for everything that you've done for me. We made history, and that will remain infinite. I thought it was a class act response. I do. And in my opinion, had she not said anything, she would have been well within her right to. But I thought this was a class act response, considering the things that he said about her. So, a lot of people are still leaving their condolences for Irv Gotti. He was only, I believe, 55. Very young. So sad. Um, fat people. Kanye West wants you to know that he is sick of your guff, okay? And when I say y'all, I mean me too, because he hates all fat people. And he's back on his BS. You know, he's back with another rant. All right, Kanye West and his slam on body positivity and the movement of body positivity. Okay, he says he is sexually offended by and does not hire fat people. Okay, well, that could come up in a lawsuit, I'm sure. But let's go on. He goes on to say, Yeezy does not hire fat or ugly people. F all this woke-ish. They putting fat bees on the runway. Nobody want to see that ish. It's unhealthy. It promotes obesity. And the wild ish is if the fat bees lose weight, then they lose their acceptance. Except for Adele, because she actually has another talent than being used as a pawn for political agendas. Why did she catch a stray? Why did you do? Okay. Fat bees are sex offenders. I see them and I'm sexually offended. Making lingerie for fat bees is like giving knives to little kids. They're going to hurt somebody. If you find yourself in a fat bee coochie, just remember it's because you're broke. Signed, Kanye West. Kanye, your fat mama was on the table getting liposuction, right? She's no longer here with us, and I'm not saying this so that she catches us stray, because may she rest in peace. I'm pretty sure Donda would not advocate for what you're saying right now, and I understand you have mental health issues. What I'm saying is, though, it is always a ninja who has or have had a fat mother or fat sister or fat aunt that they love to pieces, okay? And they just hate fat women. And I have never quite understood the connection and the obsession. Now, again, I don't believe that being overweight is healthy. I don't. I know it's ironic, right? Right? I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's the healthiest. I don't. I think there's tiers to being overweight. I do. The more weight you put on, it affects your health. I can't lie about that. I don't, I'm not that type of person. I'm not that type of fat person. But I'm also a fat person that realizes that ultimately there are a lot of factors that go into, weight gain, weight loss, why people hold on to weight, why people are fat. It's not always that they're just gorging on, cookies and cream and pizza and everything else all day long. Sometimes it is genetics. Sometimes it's their metabolism. Sometimes it's hormonal. Sometimes it's just depression. Sometimes people eat because they're depressed. They're unhappy. Sometimes it's mental illness. Sometimes they just are not motivated to work out. I mean, there are a list of reasons of why a person is overweight, right? And I also can understand a person wanted a person to be their healthiest. What I don't understand is the absolute nastiness that comes from people who are separately existing and then you inserting yourself in the fat conversation and lifestyle. You're over here, billionaire Kanye West, right? You got your wife or girlfriend or whoever, a Bianca Sensori or Sorrentini or Saltini Crackers or whatever, butt naked, showing her coochie hairs, her areola bumps, and everything else. Booty hole beige, right? That's okay. That's fine. But a fat bit, that's where you draw the line. Maybe that should be your tag for the next time you try to run in some type of political campaign. I don't know. Um because it's comical. Like, and as a fat person, when you sit back and listen to the conversations that sometimes people have and they don't realize like how deeply offensive it is, or maybe they do realize and they don't care, you just kind of like, I don't know if it numbs you, but it also is just kind of like, this is really the mindset of how people feel about people who are overweight. And I've said my fat stuff too. Don't don't let me being big fool you. I've said my kikis on fat people, including myself. But that's just, I mean, that's literally how the world works. I'm not saying it's right. I think it's horrible actually. And I think people harp on something that makes them feel better about themselves, makes them feel like they have some type of status, which it is a status thing. And they don't want to let it go. It's sad. It really is sad. Y'all fat people, and I'm talking to myself because I won't dare, police anybody else's body. Kanye want us to lose weight, so we got to do it, okay? Because Kanye said so. May his mother rest in peace. I know that she had a struggle with her weight, and that's why she was getting the surgery and the liposuction and all of that. Mm. Let's talk about Dank. She is a BBW rapper from Detroit, and this is the hill that she is choosing to die on. She was recently, I want to say last month, turned away from an Uber ride because of her size. The driver has stated that the car wouldn't comfortably hold her weight, and he had recommended, in a tactful way, that she orders a Uber XL for safety reasons. So she is suing Uber for discrimination. The driver lost his job over this, which is ridiculous. Here's my take on this. As a fat woman, a big woman, a BBW, if I may be so bold, there are certain weight restrictions. That is what it is, and for good reason. This person is not only a private contractor, so he's using his vehicle to work, but this is also his personal vehicle for personal reasons. I've seen Dank. She was recently on The Breakfast Club, and she needed a piece of the sectional couch to sit on because the chair that they had given her wasn't comfortable for her. And she was like, "Oh yeah, y'all being accommodating." Now, let me take a sip of water because this is some murky territory. As a bigger person, I do believe you should be treated with respect, regardless of your size, right? I do believe you are owed respect, but I also believe that you have to be realistic. There are some things that you just cannot do because of your size. And I won't even leave it to just weight, although this is what we're talking about primarily. Height too. If you're on the taller side, you're not gonna be able to squeeze into a little car and be comfortable. You're gonna have to order something bigger, right? If you are super, super small, you may not be able to get on this ride because it's a height requirement for safety reasons. You can't do everything. Also, too, the person who recommended that you get the Uber XL was not trying to disrespect you. They were trying to tactfully, suggest something that you would be more comfortable in. Why wouldn't you want to be comfortable? I don't, nobody wants to feel targeted. I get it. Nobody wants to feel like they're, the odd person out. I've felt targeted before. Like I've felt, but also I'm realistic too. You can't do everything. And you can't get mad because you are not able to do everything. There's a weight limit. She's a large girl. She is. She's a large girl. I don't think that she's a terrible person. I do think that it's a sense of entitlement. She had mentioned that being fat is in the same realm of the struggle that the LGBTQ plus community has. I don't personally agree with that comparison. Personally, no, I don't care to go into more detail. I don't personally agree with it. And I do think that you have to be cognizant of, reading the room and reading your surroundings. Maybe you big, okay? And I understand she's working on her weight. I get it. But you big. Right now you big. Love your big self right now. And I'm not even saying that to be funny, but also have common sense. And from the looks of that vehicle, you weren't going to be comfortable. You weren't going to be able to get in that back seat comfortably. You weren't going to be able to put your seatbelt on. So why are you giving this man a hard time? Why are you suing Uber? Because, and I'm gonna tell you, if the judge decides to say bring the driver back and I will cover all the damages, if there was any type of damages, place, have her get in that back seat and put her seatbelt on, and you can't do it, and you sit up here embarrassed, like, what do you expect us to do? Everybody just needs to be at their personal best. If you're a big person, that you're big, right? But you also need to know, like, hey, there's some things that you're not going to be able to do. And if your goal is to be able to have more convenience, and like I said, she is working on her weight, then let that be a goal. I have a weight goal too. I have things that I'm looking forward to doing once I get to a certain weight. It's no shade. I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. I think both things can be true. You can love your current self and also be willing to improve and better yourself for yourself. I think rants like Kanye West don't help. I think that When you see rants like his and then you see stories like Dank's, it's kind of like, okay, as a big person, it's very overwhelming. I'm telling you, the type of hate that you get, the criticism, you can't just exist. And then it's also like the weight Olympics of like how you're shaped, because you got to be a certain type of fat to be acceptable. You know what I mean? Boy, they. Mm-mm. All right, our last story we're going to talk about briefly is Liangelo Ball and Ms Nikki Baby's breakup drama. Whew. Now, Miss Nikki Baby is 34 years old. Liangelo Ball is 26. Okay, he was a former professional basketball player, now turned rapper. They've been together for, I want to say, approximately like maybe 2 years or so, possibly three. They have a 2-year-old, and he's recently been linked to another woman, Regina Nicole. Took her to the Super Bowl, funny enough. And Miss Nikki Baby and Liangelo, they call him Jello, whatever. I think that's his right name. He left her after she just recently given birth to their second child. So Miss Nikki Baby gets on a rant. The new girl, who they're saying she's allegedly pregnant too, she gets on there defending herself. And all I gotta say is this, ladies, big age gap with men that are a lot younger than you, under the age of 30, I would not advise. Also, too, know when a dude is just having fun. Baby, if you need to get your kicks on Route 66, do that. But please be as safe as you can. Don't get pregnant by these fools. Do not do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. I'm begging you, don't do it. It always goes downhill. First of all, Miss Nikki Baby, you got the money, you got the name. Why are you messing? And at the time, I believe he was 24 when they started getting together. Why are you messing with a 24-year-old? 32 in a serious way. Now I know things happen, so I'm not trying to be overly critical. However, people are saying that you was kind of dealing with him when he was with somebody else too. Don't know how true that is. That's what the streets are saying. And they always say like you lose them how you got them. So I'm gonna leave that up for interpretation. If y'all know more tea, y'all let me know. But ladies, protect your wombs. Like, please protect your wombs. It is never going to turn out how you think it's gonna turn out if you have these ninjas babies. It's just not. And something else that was said, there was a girl on TikTok who has been saying like Share Seven, who y'all know Share Seven, she's the sprinkle woman on YouTube and TikTok, and kind of giving advice on how women need to behave during the dating process, vetting men. She said men don't respect women who build them up. And Miss Nikki Baby allegedly had been building Liangelo's persona up as far as like his rap career, and as soon as he had a little hit on his hands, he done left her with 2 babies, most recently a newborn. I know people break up, but there is something to be said about a man who leaves a woman and she done just had his baby. It's something to be said about that. I think that is such foul play. But ladies, protect your wombs and stop building with these men. Stop it. Stop. It's not going to turn out how you think it's going to turn out. He's going to resent you. He will resent you. He's not going to say, "Oh, she got it with me about the money." He's going to go for the woman he actually wants once he's up. We would love the fairy tale of we just got each other backs and he held me down, I held him down. But 9 times out of 10, they will leave you for who they actually want. And you'll be sitting there rocking 2 babies under the age of 2, crashing out on the internet. And if this new girl is pregnant, baby, he gonna do the same thing to you. They rarely change. He's 26. He's not trying to get Miss Nikki Baby and Liangelo was on Jason Lee's show being interviewed. And here's a red flag, ladies. If you have to do all the talking, I mean all of the talking when it comes to your relationship and explaining yourself, and y'all's relationship, and he just sitting there. I didn't even know that man was sitting next to her because they were so, the space was so thick between them, far and in between. The camera panned over. I said, "Oh, I didn't even know he was there." He didn't say nothing. And Jason is like, "Oh, so do you want to get married?" And do like, I mean, not right now. I told her that, one day, yeah, we'll see. And she's like, "Well, 3 years. I'm patient because I know he's young." Girl, you were supposed to get your kicks on Route 66. Get your buttermilk biscuits buttered, okay, and leave. Like, you were not supposed to try to settle down and have a family. And she even said on the interview that she had got a real estate license. Mind you, she comes from money. She was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood or LA, one of the two, whatever. They're probably the same thing. And she was looking to settle down with a 24-year-old. Like, you cannot. uh, We'll see what happens, and what's revealed with this new relationship of Liangelo and Regina Nicole. If she is indeed pregnant, girl, okay. History will repeat itself. Like, it just will. Sad but true. Sad but true. I think the same thing happened to Queen Naja and Clarence. Didn't Clarence get somebody else pregnant? I know it's been a little hush hush now, but didn't that happen like last month? Hmm. It's rough out here, ladies. Be safe. Be careful. It is rough out here. So anyway, that was the last topic on my docket. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. This was fun. Hope y'all have a good rest of your week. Okay, don't forget to like, share, follow, and comment for more content. And as always, I'm Hershey Sunday, and I'm back with the scoop.